Hello everyone, this is G and I'm back with another video. So first of all, I hope you're all doing well. I know that this virus has got us crazy and we're going stir crazy or we're going really crazy due to life circumstances being upended. But as always, I just want to share that we'll get through this. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a clean or smooth transition, but humans are adaptable and we'll get through this. And if you're struggling, well, you know what? My heart and my prayers go out to you. I know not everybody is religious or of the same religion, but regardless, I do keep you guys in my thoughts and in my prayers. So please don't take offense over the idea of me praying on your behalf. I mean no offense by it. But anyhow, so I wanted to discuss again John Campea briefly because I actually just came across a video of his from about 3 months ago, late January, where he just goes to town on Dave Filoni and the character of Ahsoka Tano, referring to Ahsoka as Dave Filoni's Masturbatory Fantasy several times. So first of all, you may be wondering, why, Gene, are you digging this up 3 months later? I'm not digging it up, right? The only reason I'm covering it is because this is new and news to me. I was actually just looking up Ahsoka information in general because of Clone Wars and there's a book out, and I was just in the mood to just look for some Ahsoka character analysis videos because that's what I do at times. At times I just want to find, deep cuts, deep character analysis videos so I can get an idea of what the character stands for and represents and whatnot. And like I've said, Ahsoka is actually one of the few characters I am sincerely interested in when it comes to Star Wars. So I figured, hey, it's late. Let me just, be a fangirl and look up some info on her. So it was in that I came across these comments about her from John Campea from this video from about 3 months ago. Now, to be fair, I found a person's critique video first, and that's how I found out about Campea's comments, and then I found the actual video Campea made, which I'm surprised he kept up, to be honest with you, given how that got ratio too. I'll have both videos, both the response video and Campea's original video, which is like 5 minutes, 14 seconds, not long, in the description. But in Campea's video, he spends probably from 2 minutes 14 seconds, 2 minutes 16 seconds on to about the end of the video just trashing the character. I'm going to play a minute of that so you guys will get the idea of what he said. Not what I'm saying he said, not what someone else is saying he said, but what he actually said. And the video will be linked in the description for you to get the total, what's what I'm looking for? Total, I guess, content and context, right? Whatever I report on, I always hope that you guys also check it out for yourself. That's why I always provide the links. Don't just take my word on it. So I'm going to play about a minute of what Campea said from about 2 minutes, 16 seconds to about 3 minutes, 16 seconds. I'm hoping it will come up well on my speakers. If it doesn't, again, the video will be in the description. Check it out on your own. So, 1 second. I'm pulling it now so that I can play it. Come on, computer. Here we go. Okay, so should be playing now.
Course that much. The one thing that pissed me off. First of all, Dave Filoni continues with his incredible masturbatory self-obsession with this Ahsoka Tano character. Listen, I don't mind Clone Wars. I don't hate Clone Wars. All right? There are some things about it that I enjoy. When they showed that Darth Maul and Ahsoka Tano were going to have a big showdown, if Dave Filoni dares have his frickin' little self-masturbatory fantasy girl that he created in his head beat Darth Maul, I'm officially full-blown fuck Dave Filoni. If he has his little self-important little masturbatory project, Ahsoka Tano beat Darth Maul. I am officially full-blown fuck Dave Filoni.
So that's about a minute of what he said. He actually goes on to trash Filoni and the character for the rest of the video, right? So for about what, another 2-3 minutes, because the video is about 5 minutes long, right? So that was only about a minute of it. But as you can hear, he constantly refers to the character of Ahsoka as Dave Filoni's masturbatory fantasy, right? And as you heard him say, that he was officially going to be done with Star Wars if Ahsoka ended up defeating Darth Maul in battle. Well, given some of the recent events of some recent episodes of Clone Wars Season 7, I'm guessing John isn't watching anymore, given that Ahsoka did send Darth Maul flying through a window when she leg tossed him like it was a Street Fighter game. I just kind of like totally geeked out just for the leg toss alone. I was like, it's like playing as Ryu all over again. But anyway, real talk. I cannot. How do I put it? I'm not surprised John said this, but I'm also frankly insulted that John said this. Not just because I'm a big fan of Ahsoka, not just because I'm an Ahsoka fangirl, because I want to make it clear to John, if he happens to find this video, or to anyone else, you don't have to like Ahsoka. I don't care personally if another person likes the character of Ahsoka Tano. You are entitled to your opinions, you are entitled to your taste. Taste is subjective, right? The character of Ahsoka, when she first debuted in Clone Wars about, 10 or so years ago in like 2008, so it's been about 10, 12, maybe 13 years now, I forget. Right? But she was not well received. But what they did at the time was exactly what I said you should do when I did my first video on John Campea and his man babies comment, which is that you allay the fan base's fears and you tell them, look, okay, I know that you don't like this character right now, but give us time, work with us, we'll work with you. And what happened? Over the course of the Clone Wars saga, right? Over the course of the first 5 seasons, Ahsoka grew, Ahsoka changed, right? There was very good writing and characterization, and people grew to like her. And I think people really grew to like her due to her supporting role in Star Wars Rebels, where she was reintroduced as this, grown-up adult a character who was like fully realized, fully actualized, right? She was no longer the young girl who had left the Jedi Order. She was now a warrior and an adult in her own right, and she played that mentor role to what's his name? Was it Kanan? I think Kanan was the other guy, the purple-haired boy. I forget his name. On Rebels, right? And I think that her characterization in Rebels was very well done, right? She was still very much Ahsoka, but she was an older Ahsoka, an adult who had seen things, who had done things, right? She was no longer the, impish, brash, overly cocky teenager she had been in the beginning of the series. Right, in the beginning of Clone Wars. That's what you call character development. She grew over time, and her characterization and the amazing voice work by Ashleen Eckstein, I think her name is, conveyed that. And her story conveyed that, right? Her leaving the Jedi Order, right? Leaving Anakin, having to find herself, and then having to encounter Anakin again at the end of the story, where now they're enemies, right? And he's Darth Vader, and she has to deal with that guilt of her master falling to the dark side and all this other stuff, right? All I can say that for me personally, what made me a fan of the character was not really Rebels, because I wasn't too familiar with it or with her. It was me take that back. It wasn't really Clone Wars because I wasn't really familiar with Clone Wars or with her in that series. It was really Rebels. There was actually this 45-minute video by Disney of all places that basically was like the Ahsoka highlight show. And by the time of that 45 minutes was done, I was like, I must know everything about this character. She is a sword saint. It's the warrior ideal. I'm a total sucker for that. She is amazing. Tell me more. I want more. And that's fine. If you like the character, that's fine. If you dislike the character, that's fine. There are plenty of reasons to dislike Ahsoka's character. Some may say that she's too I can't get the word out. Idealized, right? Maybe she's overpowered in some respects. Okay, fair enough. Everybody's entitled to their taste and to their opinions. You don't have to like the character. But it amazes me. It amazes me that John Campea at any point would spend over a minute referring to Ahsoka, demeaning the character of Ahsoka, who, keep in mind, represents everything he said he wanted and was interested in a female-centric show, right? She's a beloved female character. Clone Wars Season 7 is basically the Ahsoka show. So that female-centric Star Wars that he called everybody else who was critical of it a man baby, right? It's basically right there with Clone Wars Season 7. People are really enjoying it from best I can tell. The season's being received very well, and especially these last few episodes that have now introduced Maul and Ahsoka, and they're going more into the events of Revenge of the Sith. It's being received pretty well from best I can tell. And now, to be fair, he did make these comments 3 months earlier, late January, back when this was just the trailer, right? But still, that he would make these comments about a female character, that he would demean her and refer to her as a masturbatory fantasy, right? Not simply say, I don't like the character, I think that she's Filoni's pet or Filoni's favorite, and I think his favoritism is negatively impacting the characterization for XY reasons. That I could understand. I may not agree with his assessment, but that would at least be an argument. But he's not making an argument in that 1 minute clip I played, or in the rest of the video where he rants and he rants and he rants about Ahsoka being Dave Filoni's wank material. Now, first of all, unless he somehow has telepathy, unless he's suddenly become Professor Xavier and he can read minds and no one told us, how in the world does John Campea know that Dave Filoni, or rather that Ahsoka is Dave Filoni's masturbatory fantasy, that she's his wank material or his dream girl, whatever you want to call it, right? How does he know this? Because by saying this, he's demeaning the character of Ahsoka, and he's demeaning Dave Filoni as a creator by basically implying that Filoni creates certain characters, in particular females, just to suit his own desires, taste, perversions, whatever it is, right? What he's saying goes beyond author appeal. Every author engages in author appeal, right? Making things that appeal to them in some fashion. But Campea's comments go beyond that. It's now about creating a self-fulfilling, not prophecy, but character, right? Which I think really, again, at least just from my point of view, I think is so insulting and demeaning to Filoni as a creator, right? And to the character of Ahsoka, which, keep in mind, has won the fan base over pretty much. Do you have individuals like Campea who don't like her? Yes, and that's fine. No one ever bats 100%. But by and large, the fan base likes her. She wouldn't have been featured as a voice in, Rise of Skywalker if she wasn't liked. She wouldn't be the focus of Clone Wars Season 7 if she wasn't liked. She wouldn't have had a important guest star, or you want to call it a main supporting role, right? In Rebels, if she was not popular, with the fan base, and that he would say this about a character who is well liked within the series, even if he personally doesn't like her, right? It's just, I can't say it surprises me, but it's just so disgusting to me because this, from what Campea has said, Campea reminds me of the type of guy who will defend a woman, right, up until it's a woman he doesn't like, or up until it's a woman that disagrees with him or he disagrees with. Then the moment it's someone he doesn't like or he doesn't agree with in some fashion, then she's every dirty word in the book. I've encountered people like that. I've encountered men like that many a times in my life, and it is so freaking infuriating how on the one hand they will go around and champion women's rights and women's representation up until it's a woman they don't like. Then she gets demeaned, usually sexually, because she just exists for a sex, or she just exists for a man's fantasy. We actually saw this recently with those Twitter comments, and I covered those, about Tifa, right? Because Tifa wears a short skirt, and she wears, I guess, what some would feel is revealing clothing, that she must be a prostitute. And then the person takes the tweet down saying, I was just joking, it was just a bad joke. And then, of course, the internet doesn't let up because, damn it, you don't attack Tifa. But here's Campea doing the same damn thing 3 months earlier, dogging Ahsoka frickin' Tano for no other reason. He doesn't give a nuanced explanation as to why he doesn't like the character. He just says again and again and again, she's Dave Filoni's pet creation, or pet project. Dave Filoni's masturbatory fantasy. This is his only argument. He sounds like the most sex-starved Pokemon I've ever heard. She's just Dave Filoni's masturbatory fantasy. Are you sure the masturbatory fantasy does not exist in your head, John? Because I swear, the more you talk about it, the more it seems like maybe you're the one having the fantasies. Which I say, I'm not surprised. Let's just put it that way. I would not be surprised if the sexy thoughts and the sexy fantasies are actually living in John Campea's head. Since he wants to try to read Dave Filoni's mind, I'm going to try to read his. I think that the issue really lies with John and the way John perceives women, right? If it's a cause he agrees with, he will defend it and automatically call anybody who disagrees with him for any reason a man baby, up until a woman puts him in his place and makes him look like a damned fool. But when it's a female character he doesn't like because she's a masturbatory fantasy and I have no other reason to explain to you why I don't like her, then he just demeans her. And I cannot stand people like that. And I want to make it clear again. I have no issue with Filoni, not Filoni, sorry. I have no issue with John Campea disliking Ahsoka as a character. He's entitled to his opinions. But when you are going to say things like a damn parrot that she's a masturbatory fantasy, she's Dave Filoni's masturbatory fantasy, you, Chief, are the one with the problem. When that's the only argument you can make against a character that people like, but you don't, if the only thing you can do is to just be demeaning and insulting for no other reason, you can't explain yourself beyond that, and especially given the fact that it's a female character, you make intensely sexual comments. Now, some may say, well, gee, he doesn't really literally mean masturbating. He's probably just meaning to be, self-absorbed or excessive or obsessed. To which I say, you're probably right. but it's still an incredibly sexual term. Calling a character, in particular a female character, a masturbatory fantasy. That's still an incredibly sexual terminology to use. And he used it. Not once, not twice, but at least 5 times, if not more. So, in clothing, I really, really, really think John Campea needs to stop running his mouth when it comes to female characters or female-centric or female anything in Star Wars, because he's proven with these comments from 3 months ago and with his comments from about 3 days ago now, that whenever the issue comes to women, all he does is stick his own foot in his mouth. But anyway, that's the video. I know it got kind of ranty, but hey, this is how I think and feel, and at least I can make an argument. But anyhow, let me know what you think, and I will see you all on the next one. And I'm going to end this image on Ahsoka because, damn it, I don't want to look at Campea anymore. So, whoever you are, be happy, be healthy, be safe, and I will see you around. Bye.